Good afternoon. Am I audible?
You're audible, and just we'll try to introduce you to the audience, then we can start, sir.
Okay, sure.
Sir, please, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Sachin Sharma, we, the faculty of Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, sir, we welcome you to this faculty development program from the Department of CSC, Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women. We thank you for
Just a minute, sir.
joining with us.
Anuj Garu, please share this slide, sir.
So I have
Now,
shared slides.
no, no,
It
sir.
is
No. It is welcome slide that I'm asking about. Just anyway, proceed, sir. Sunil, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, before entering into the session, let me take the privilege to introduce you, sir. It is my great honor to introduce Dr. Sachin Sharma. Dr. Sachin Sharma is working as an associate professor in computer applications in Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies. He has published over 32 research papers in different standards of technology and has been a part of two patents as well. He has published four books and on a verse of three upcoming publications. He is involved as a journal reviewer in reputed organizations like IEEE Journal of Biomedical and Health Informatics, Open Computer Science, Elsevier International Journal of Intelligent Networks, Ender Science Publishers, International Journals of Cloud Computing, ACM member, Computer Society of India member, Computer Science Teacher Association, and editorial board member of International Journal of Engineering Technologies and more. He is an avid reader and believes in the power of positivity to embrace success in life. Really, we are very happy to have such a great person in this faculty development program as a resource person, sir. So now I request you to share your valuable insights on evolving of big data, sir.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
the platform is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Just sharing the slides. Is it visible now?
Yes. It is visible and you're audible. Please proceed, sir.
So, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Sachin Sharma, working as Associate Professor at Manav Rachna International Institute of Research Studies, Faridabad. First of all, I'm thankful to the Vishnu Engineering College for Women authorities for arranging such type of the wonderful sessions or FTPs. Also, I'm thankful to the Dr. P. Kiran Professor and Head of the Computer Department for inviting me as a resource person for this FTP. And I hope that this session will be beneficial to all of you. So I'm going to start. So today's the session is on the big data. That is how we store the data. So how big data is useful in storing the data. So these are the outlines which I will cover in today's lecture. First of all, what is mining? What are the various techniques? What I'm specifying a specific technique of data mining like association rule mining. After that, I will cover that why big data is required, what is the use of big data, what are the various technologies, and what are the various profiles at present in the industries for the big data. So first of all, I'm going to start that what is the data mining. So before starting the concept of the data mining, I think it is very necessary to define that what is meant by the data. So I think this FDP is for faculty members or it is for the students also.
Faculty members, sir.
Okay.
Faculty,
And
sir.
some
Okay.
students also there.
Okay then. So first of all, what is data? Actually, I think everyone knows that data is a collection of the raw facts to arrange some type of the unarranged data or unorganized data. We use the concept of the data. Now, what is mean by the mining? Mining means to extract some meaningful information. If we are having a large amount of the data, and depending on the requirement, we are interested to extract some meaningful information, some useful information which will be beneficial to increase some type of the cost or some type of the revenue or some type of the uh, we can say efficiency, we use the concept of the data mining. So basically you can say that data mining is the basically a process through which we can extract the different type of the information on the basis of the requirement of the user. This data mining is also known as the knowledge discovery in the databases. Actually, we are having the various number of the steps to extract the meaningful information in the data mining. So that's why, and knowledge is the last step in those particular steps. That's why it is known as the knowledge discovery in databases. That's why we can say that we are discovering some information from the large amount of the databases. So in data mining, we are having a number of the steps to extract that meaningful information, to extract that knowledge from the large amount of the data. On this basis, we can say that it is also known as the knowledge discovery in the databases. We are having the various techniques like classification, association rule mining, and the clustering. I think everyone knows that what is classification, rules mining, and clustering. Classification is basically analysis which is basically which can be used to extract some information on the basis of the some different classes. For example, let us suppose there is a bank manager who wants to predict that a particular loan applications received may be risky or may be not risky for a particular process. So from the classification in the data mining, uh, it is very easy to predict that this particular application, loan application, may be safe or may be risky. So here we are classifying on the basis of the information like true or false, yes or no. That is known as the classification. Then clustering, which is basically used to find the similarity groups in the data. We are having a large amount of the data and we are interested in find the similar number of or dissimilar number of the groups. We can use the concept of the clustering. Here we are having the various different techniques like k-mean, k-mod algorithms through which we can find the different clusters. It is basically used in the general insurance companies. And at last, we are using the concept of the association rule mining, which is a very simple and a very interesting technique in the data mining to determine the number of the interesting relationship among the number of the large data item sets. Means we are having, for example, let us assume a very simple example in a market basket. In a departmental store, a particular person visits and he or she purchases the various number of the items. So the responsibility of the departmental manager is to predict that how many number of the items have been purchased by that particular customer or by the customer. It means from this particular policy, the departmental manager basically establishes that which type of the new decision policies or such we can say different sales exhibitions may be planned for increasing the sales of those different number of the items whose sale is not in whose sale is not much increased at the customer level. So basically, association rule mining is a very interesting and it is used in the basket analysis, which is basically used to find the number of the relationships. So here I'm just showing the example of the association rule mining, that how we can extract the data, because if we know that how we are extracting the data from the data mining, after that we are able to find that why a big data is required. So here I am specifying an example that how we generate the associations rule in the data mining. So these associations rules, they are the proposed by the Dr. Rakesh Agarwal and his team in 1993, which is basically used to find the frequent item set, which is basically used to represent the various associations in the different large number of the item set, or we can say in the transactional databases. So this basically we can say कि जो frequent patterns हैं, various associations हैं, various correlations, we are able to determine those different types of the associations, those different types of the frequent patterns or the relationship. For example, in a departmental store, let us suppose we are purchasing a bread. If we purchase the bread, then it may be or it may not be that we along the bread we also purchase the different eggs. So this is the rule that if we purchase the bread, then there may be a probability that a particular customer may also purchase the eggs. So this type of the relationship is known as a association rule mining, or we can say frequent item set. So as I have mentioned that it is used in the market basket analysis, which is a very simple and the interesting example where the number of the items have been purchased by the customer and the departmental store departmental manager finds or we can say he determines that how many number of the items have been purchased by that particular customer. Also, we can say that association rules are used in the different medical diagnosis. We can say they are used in the agriculture, they are used in the education industry, they are used in the insurance companies. We can say it is used in the various application areas. So just a simple example, as I told earlier, that if a customer purchases bread, he or she may like to purchase the eggs with bread. So if a customer purchases bread, there is a probability that the customer will also purchase the eggs with the bread. So from this particular association rule, we are able to find that this is the type of the combination, this is the type of the relationship which the customer uses. Similarly, if a customer purchases a laptop, there is a probability that a customer will also purchase the printer. So these type of the rules are known as the positive association rule, where left hand side and the right hand side are the positive. But again, we are having the negative association rule. Negative association rule means where we use a positive in the left hand side and use negations in the right hand side. For example, there is a bird who is a penguin. It is by default understood that bird always flies. But in this example, I am specifying that a bird does not fly. In the right hand side, please note it that I have mentioned a negation symbol. This negation symbol means that it does not fly. So this is the negative association rule means a bird who is a penguin, it does not fly. But it is by default understood that if there is a bird, that bird means by default it is understood that the bird always flies. So this is if a bird flies, it is a positive association rule. If a bird who is penguin that does not fly, so this type of the rule is not is known as a negative association rule. So with the help of the data mining, we are able to find that which are the positive and which are the negative association rule. From this particular process, we are able to find how many number of the items which are the most frequently purchased by the customer. These are the number of the items which are the very least purchased by the customer. So the items which are most frequently purchased, they are known as a positive association rule. The items which are very in the least range, or we can say in no proportion, we can say that these are known as the negative association rules. So for finding these appropriate associations rule, we use the concept of the a priori algorithm. It is a very famous algorithm. It is a classical algorithm, which is basically used to generate the number of the associations. This type of the associations rules uses the bottom-up methodology, where bottom-up methodology means that the number of the item set are extended one item at a time, that we are proceeding from bottom to top. So this is the principle which we use in the cases of the a priori algorithm. Now, a very simple example. I have added this slide intentionally because from this particular slide, you are able to find out how we generate the data from the association rule. In this example, now we are having five different items. Or we are having the five different transactions, like transaction 1, transaction 2, transaction 3, transaction 4, and transaction 5. Just hold down. I'm just giving us a hold for the 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. So I am mentioning a slide in which we have shown an example containing the five different transactions, one, two, three, four, five, and each transactions contains that how many number of the items have been purchased in the departmental store. So in this example, the transaction 1 contains milk, tea, cake. The transaction 2 contains eggs, tea, cold drink. Transaction 3 contains milk, egg, tea, cold drink. Transaction 4 contains egg, cold drink. Transaction 5 contains juice. So these are the different number of the items. This is the data set. This is the transactional database which is given, which is we can say which is given or we establish on the basis of the purchasing. Now from a priori algorithm, in this example, first of all, we will find the occurrence of the various item set. Occurrence of various item set means that how many number of items, that how many times a particular item set will exist. In this example, we are having the 6 item sets like milk, egg, tea, cold drink, juice, and cake. Now, to find how many times the milk exists in the database, that is in the serial number 1. I have mentioned the serial number 1. This is the serial number 1. So in this example, in this particular database, how many times the milk that exists. So here the milk is existing 2 times. So the occurrence, or we can say the sport of this item set is 2. Similarly, we find the occurrence of the sport of the egg. Egg contains 3 times, that is in transaction 2, in transaction 3, in transaction 4. So the sport value of this item set is 3. In the similar manner, we have calculated the sport of the all item set, like tea for 3, cold drink again 3, juice is 1, cake is 1. Now, please note that in this particular example, if we are using the concept of the a priori algorithm, there is a one more input value which is entered by the user, which is known as the minimum sport threshold value. This minimum sport threshold value is the minimum, just like a stock value. We are having a minimum limit. So here this value is given by the user, or we can say it is the input value which is entered by the user. So in this example, I am assuming this value as a 2. Please note it that I am assuming the minimum sport threshold value as 2. Now we will compare the sport value of the different item set in the step number 2. Step number 2, this step number 2, here we have calculated the sport value. Now each sport value is compared with the minimum sport threshold, which is true. So here we will compare all the values with the minimum sport threshold. The values should be greater than or equal to minimum sport threshold. So in this example, milk, egg, tea, and cold drink. In serial number 3, you just see that the milk, egg, tea, and cold drink, these 4 different item sets satisfying the condition that the sport value of these 4 item set is greater than the or equal to the minimum sport threshold value, which is equal to the 2. So it means these 4 item sets are the frequent item set. Frequent item set, the item set which have been which have been purchased by the which have been most frequently purchased by the customer. So it means the departmental manager is able to find from this particular principle that these are the item set which have been purchased most frequently by the customer. And juice and cake whose spot value is 1, these are the item set which have been not most frequently purchased by the customer. So it means for particular juice and the cake, the departmental manager will establish some different policies so that the sale of the juice and cake may be increased. So in the similar manner, we will find the different frequent item set like 2 item set, 3 item set, 4 item set, so that we are able to find that how many number of the item set may be purchased together by the different customers in the departmental store. So the purpose of this example is that how we determine the number of the frequent item set, how we extract the data from the data mining, because big data is basically a tool which is used to resolve the issues in the data mining. So first of all, I will find, I'm just showing that how we will extract the useful information from the large amount of the data, and how we manage this data with the help of the big data technologies. So this is the complete procedure that how we get the number of the various most frequent item set in the departmental store by the a priori algorithm. So if you see in this example, in the step number 5 and in the step number 6, we have find the sorry, in the step number 6 and in the step number 7, we have find the various number of the frequent item sets. So step number 3, step number 6, step number 7 show that these are the various number of the item sets which have been most frequently purchased by the customer. So this is the principle, this is the policy or technique through which our departmental manager will be able to find the most frequent item sets. So this is the complete outcome of this example. What are the one frequent item set? How many we are having two frequent item set? How many we are having three frequent item set? So this is the complete outcome of this example. And the various drawbacks are that we are repeating scanning of the database, used candidate sets. We are totally dependent on the minimum sort threshold values. It is not able to find the real item set. It is unable to generate negative association rule. So these are the different algorithms which are these are the different drawbacks which we have overcome in the different latest algorithms, so that how we scan the database, how we generate the candidate item set, how it is not able to find the rare item set. All these different limitations, they have been overcome in the different latest algorithms. So I am not having so much time so that I can explain all those algorithms. Now, uh, our basic theme is that what is the big data, what are the use of the big data, why it is required. So from this particular diagram, which show that the evolutions of the various technologies. So I think, have you ever wondered that how the technologies evolve to fulfill these emerging needs? At this time, in the present time, we are having the various techniques. So how these technologies evolve to fulfill these emerging needs? In this example, if you see that earlier we are having telephone. Earlier we are having a desktop. Earlier we are having a car. Now at this time we are using a smart mobile. We are using a cloud technology. We are using a smart car. So from this particular example, this example basically shows that various technologies, how the various technologies are evolved in the present scenario to fulfill our the requirements or fulfill our the basic needs. Now, in this example, we see that earlier we had landline phones. Now we have shifted to smartphones. Similarly, uh, how many of you remember that floppy drives that were used back in the 90s? These floppy drives basically have been replaced by the hard disk, because these floppy drives now have a very low storage capacity and the transfer speed. Thus, these make basically we can say कि these floppy drives, they are the sufficient for handling the large amount of the data which we are dealing today. Now in this time we are storing terabytes of the data on the cloud without being bothered about the size constraints. So basically we can say at this time we are having the latest technology which is very capable to store the large amount of the data in a very efficient manner. Like in this example, we are having cars, then we are at this time we are using smart car. So basically we can say कि the technologies used in the earlier time, they have been changed completely in the industry, so that our life becomes very simple, easy, and we can maintain it a very efficient manner. Now, again, we are having Internet of Things. At this time, we are using Internet of Things. Earlier, अगर आपको याद हो, we are not using IoT. So, IoT means Internet of Things, which connects your device to the internet and makes it smarter. Nowadays, we have smart air conditioner. We have smart television. Your smart air conditioner let us suppose they constantly monitors your room temperature along with your outside temperature, and accordingly it decides that what should be the temperature of the room. So now imagine that how much data would be generated in a year by the smart air conditioner installed in the tens and the thousands of the houses. So by this we can understand that how IoT is contributing a major share to the big data. So this is how the latest technologies useful in the useful in fulfilling our basic needs. Again, we are having a social media, which is the largest contributor of the big data. This is the most important factor in the evolution of the big data because it provides the information about your people behavior. For example, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, mails. They are the different tools through which we can able to find the information. We are able to find the people behavior. So look at this picture. Uh, from this particular feature, you are able to find an idea how much data is generated, how much data is getting generated every minute from Facebook, from Twitter, from YouTube. We are storing, we are getting a large amount of the data, and it is not possible to manage that large amount of the data with the help of the data mining techniques. So we can say with the help of the social media, with the help of the internet, IoT, with the help of the latest technology, we have find the we can say that that we have we have gained some benefits, but along with those benefits, it is creating a large amount of the data which is very difficult to manage with the help of the data mining techniques. So to resolve these different technologies, to resolve these large amount of the data that we can process the data in a very efficient manner, we have used the concept of the big data. So this big data is basically a field which is basically used to analyze the information in a systematically manner, but that information will be is useful when we are having a very large amount of the data. If we are having large amount of data, then we can say that this big data is a field which is through which we can extract the meaningful information. In the similar manner, we can also extract the information from the data mining, but there is the constraint that from the data mining, the range of the data which we are extracting, which we are gaining, which we are storing, which we are maintaining is very limited. So with the help of this process, it is very easy and simple. Again, we are having the different data technologies like Apache Hadoop, Apache Spark, Apache Flink. So at this time, we are using the Flink, which is the 4G of the big data, and it is the framework through which we can extract, through which we can handle the large amount of the data in a very efficient manner, and this data can be handled with the help of the batch as well as the stream. As Apache Hadoop or Apache Spark, it uses either streaming or uses the batch processes. But Apache Flink it can handle with the help of the both processes. So these are the different job roles and the skills. We are having Hadoop developer. The skills required for the Hadoop developer is that we are having a good knowledge of the data structures. We are able to find how the map reduced codes we can be used, can be generated, can be developed. We are having a good information about the backends like Java, Python, Scala. We are having the different databases information like Big Latin scripts and the HiveQL. Similarly, we are having that loading tech tools like Triumph Scoop and problems. They are useful for the problem solving processes. And the experience required for the Hadoop developer is 0 to 5 years, and the average salary is about 12 lakh per annum. So this is the most demanding profile in the industries at present. Similarly, then we are having Hadoop architect. Again, we are having the good understanding of the map reduce. We are having the good information about the Hive, Java, HBase, and this Hadoop architect is basically this profile may be expertise in the modularizing the project and the useful in the real life world problems. So the average, it is just like your database administrator. So the average salary is about like 22 lakhs Then data scientist, it is the most demanding profile in the industry again, which is based on the big data and the machine learning processes. And they are used with the visualizations and we can say reporting and the different data visualization methods. We are having the good knowledge about the data mining tools and the techniques if we are interested for the data scientist profile. And the average salary is about 27 lakhs. So this is the information about the, because I am due to the time constraint, because I have another session at 5:30. So I think we should close this session now. If you are having any query, you are most welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Sachin. It's a privilege
Thank you.
to see you online. Sunil Garu, if any participants wish to interact with the professor, they can interact.
Yes, sir. So, dear participants, total you want to interact, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Sachin sir is ready to answer your questions. Please unmute yourself and ask the questions. Okay, sir. I hope you gave boost for them because you ended your slides with an average salary of 27 lakhs per annum, sir.
Yeah.
Really, it gives boost for them. Really, whatever the topics that you covered, all are vanished by that simple statement, sir. Anyways, you cover the major topics like what is the data mining, the data mining techniques that we are using, and mainly you focused on the a priori algorithm and how you are establishing the relation by taking the items bought and support with milk, egg, tea, cold drink. So like that, you focused on all these and you covered the relations between all. And finally, you focused what are the frequent items that we are getting and what are the problems in that and what are the evaluation of the technologies. You gave the examples like how we are using old telephone and how we converted to mobile, old car to smart car, how they desktop to cloud, like that. You clearly explain what may be the evaluation, whatever is our future, and how the social media is playing a role in the big data, and what are the technologies that we are required to become as a big data analysts. And you mentioned finally the job roles and the skills required for a data scientists and all. Really, all these gives support for all our participants so that they can have a bright future with all your information and all. Really, you gave a wonderful information for all our participants. Thank you so much for joining with us, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I think this is a very introductory session of the big data. If you are having a time in another days, I will also explain that how big data technologies, what are the various technologies and how they work together, what are the architecture and what are the technologies and how they relate with each other. So this is the, I think, advanced version of the big data. But at this time, because from this lecture, I think it is not convenient that I will start from the. I will directly start with the architecture and the technologies. So I think that first of all we should cover the basics. After that, we will be able to determine that how big data technologies will be useful and how what are the architecture, what are the framework, and how they will work. So if we can plan another session in another day, so I will be very happy to give the information about the machine technologies, the architecture, their framework in future.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely, sir. We hope our association will go for the next also. Our association will continues for a long, sir, with
Thank
your
you. Thank
support.
you very much.
Sir, from the Department of CSE, Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Bhimavaram, from the bottom of our hearts, we convey our thanks and regards to you, sir. Despite of your busy schedule, even you have a session in at 5:30, you wish to
You are
spend some
qualified.
time for us. Really, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So should I leave the session?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Sunil garu, after this we can share the feedback, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, sir, recording can stop. Sir, I don't have the